Let me be straight with you right now. Most people who start a side hustle end up more broke, more exhausted, and more confused than when they started. And nobody is talking about this. Not the influencers posting their income screenshots. Not the gurus selling you the dream. Nobody. And if you are sitting there right now thinking about starting something on the side, or maybe you already started and things are not going the way you expected, this video might be the most important thing you watch this year. Because what I am about to share with you has saved people thousands of dollars and hundreds of wasted hours, and I want to do the same for you. Here's what most people do. They see someone online making money from their laptop on a beach. They think, I can do that. They pick something. They try it for 2 months. Nothing happens. They try something else. 2 more months gone. And then one day they look up and realize 6 months have passed, their savings account is lighter, and they have nothing to show for it. That feeling is crushing. And if you have felt it, I want you to know it is not your fault. The system was never designed to show you the full picture. Before we go any deeper, because this is going to get very real very fast, there is a program linked down below in the video description. If you are someone who is serious about making this work, someone who is done spinning their wheels and ready to actually move forward with a real structure behind you, I want you to go check it out right now, not later, now. Because the people who say they will do it later almost never do. And you are not one of those people. You are here because you want different results. Go look at it and then come back here because what comes next in this video is going to make a lot of things click for you. Now let us talk about the trap. And I mean the real trap. Not the obvious stuff like picking the wrong niche or not posting consistently. I am talking about the invisible pattern that kills most side hustles before they ever had a real chance. It starts with excitement. You find the idea. Maybe it is drop shipping, maybe freelancing, maybe digital products, maybe content creation. You feel that fire in your chest. Finally you think, finally I have found the thing. And that energy is real. That energy is powerful. But here's what nobody tells you. That same excitement that pulls you in is also the thing that destroys most people. Because excitement without structure is just chaos with good intentions. You stay up until 2 in the morning researching. You watch another video, and another, and another. You build this massive plan in your head. You feel productive. But days pass, then weeks. And you realize you have been preparing to start rather than actually starting. The motion without movement trap. It feels like progress. It looks like progress. But your bank account tells a different story. And when you finally do start, you hit the first wall. Maybe nobody buys. Maybe the traffic is not coming. Maybe you put something out there and heard nothing but silence. That silence is deafening. It shakes something inside you. You start questioning everything. Was this even a good idea? Am I even capable of this? Maybe I am just not the type of person who gets to have this kind of life. That thought right there, is the real trap. Because here is what the data shows. People who stick with a properly structured side hustle past the 90-day mark see an average return that is 4 to 6 times what they invested in time and money. 4 to 6 times. But most people quit on day 60, day 45. Some people quit on day 3 because they expected results in 72 hours, and when those results did not show up, they decided the whole thing was a scam. Think about what that actually costs you. Not just in money. Think about it in time, in life. If you had started 12 months ago and stayed consistent with the right approach, where would you be today? Take a second and actually think about that. Because that gap between where you could be and where you actually are right now, that is the real cost of inaction. That is the cost of starting over instead of continuing. That is the cost of chasing shiny objects instead of building something real. And here is where it gets uncomfortable, so stay with me. Most people who are stuck in this cycle are not lazy. They are actually some of the hardest working people you will ever meet. They are up early. They are staying up late. They are giving everything they have. But they are giving everything they have to the wrong things, in the wrong order, with no feedback loop telling them what is actually working. That is not a willpower problem. That is a system problem. People who break out of this trap almost always say the same thing when you ask them what changed. They do not say they suddenly became more disciplined. They do not say they found a new motivation hack. They say they finally stopped guessing. They found a clear path, they followed it, and they started seeing real signals that told them what was working and what was not. That shift, that moment where the fog lifts, where you go from confused and exhausted to clear and moving forward with actual momentum, that moment changes everything. Not just financially. It changes how you feel about yourself. It changes how you walk into a room. It changes the conversations you have with yourself at 2 in the morning when doubt tries to creep in. Now let us talk about the other side. Because I want you to feel this, not just understand it intellectually. Imagine it is 6 months from now. You woke up this morning and the first thing you did was not check whether your boss was emailing you. You checked your own dashboard, your own numbers. And those numbers, even if they are not massive yet, they are yours. You built them. You understand exactly why they are there and exactly how to grow them. There is no ceiling above you that someone else controls. Every hour you put in has a direct and traceable impact on what comes back to you. That feeling, that ownership, that is what people who have cracked this feel every single day. And it is not reserved for some special group of people with special gifts or special connections. The people who get there are regular people who decided to stop experimenting without direction and start operating with a proven framework behind them. Here's another thing that nobody warned you about: the loneliness of building something alone. You try to talk to your friends about your side hustle and you get the look. You know exactly which look I'm talking about. The slight head tilt, the polite smile, the "yeah, sure, that sounds great," while they are already thinking about something else. You try to explain it to your family, and they ask you why you are not just focusing on your main job, and so you stop talking about it. You internalize it. You carry the doubt alone. And that isolation is one of the biggest hidden costs of the side hustle trap that nobody names. Because when you are carrying something alone, every setback feels bigger than it is. Every slow day feels like confirmation that you were wrong to try. Every moment of silence feels like failure instead of just part of the process. The people who break through almost never do it in complete isolation. They find something that gives them direction, accountability, and a structure that takes the guessing out of the equation. And that combination, direction plus structure plus real feedback, that is where momentum actually starts. Now let us talk about money, because we should be honest about this. Most people spend between $200 and $800 in their first few months of a side hustle testing things that do not work. Random tools. Courses that give them 70% of the picture but not the critical 30% they actually need. Ads that burn budget without a solid foundation underneath them. Time which has a real dollar value spent going in circles. That is not a small cost. That is real money that came out of your real life. And here is the painful part. Most of that cost was not necessary. It happened because people were moving without a map. But on the other side of that, people who find the right structure early report getting to their first meaningful milestone in half the time they expected. Not because the work became easier, because the work became clearer. Clarity is worth more than motivation. Clarity is worth more than hustle. Clarity is the thing that makes every hour you put in count for something real. And when the money starts moving in the right direction, something shifts emotionally that is hard to describe, but you will know it the moment it happens. It is not even about the amount at first. It is about the proof. The proof that this is real. The proof that you are capable. The proof that the vision you have been quietly carrying around was never crazy. That moment hits different than anything you have felt in a long time. So here is where we land. You have two paths in front of you right now. One path is continuing to do what most people do, trying things alone, figuring it out through trial and error, spending another 6 months getting to the same place you're in right now, or somewhere worse. That path is free. It costs you nothing up front, but it costs you everything in the long run. The other path is deciding today that you are done wasting time, done starting over, done being the person who almost made it, but not quite. The program linked in the video description is the clearest path from where you are right now to where you actually want to be, not someday, starting now. The people who go through it do not look back wondering whether they should have started sooner. They just wish they had found it earlier. That is going to be you too, but only if you actually click that link and take the first step today. Not when things calm down, not when the timing feels perfect. Today. Because the timing will never be perfect and you already know that. And you deserve better than another 6 months of spinning your wheels. Go check it out right now.